Follow me. Welcome to humankind's crazy natural habitat, the mall.
Similar to the relationship between a worshiper and their place of worship, there is also a strong emotional connection between individuals and the mall. The mall serves as a place of gathering, as it embodies a sense of community and acceptance. In this highly professional and highly budgeted documentary, we as professional reporters will observe and investigate the similarities that exist between a mall and a temple.
Much like a temple, the mall is a place of worship, as it is where the individual or collective practices their cultural and religious rituals. In the mall, the worshiper partakes in the ritual consumption of food, consumption of goods and services, and the consumption of time.
Here we are at the Eaton Center, interviewing a bunch of people about their experiences at the mall.
Twice a week because I go do stuff for work.
Like once a month, like twice a month. 3 to 5 times a month.
Like once every couple of weeks.
Every day.
Almost every day, yeah.
Probably the first time in like a few months.
Anywhere from 2 to 4 hours.
Hour.
2 hours?
Like 5 hours.
Like good like 6 hours.
3 hours. 6 hours.
Maybe for an hour or two.
5 minutes.
Like $15-ish if it's food.
Like 250. 150, 200?
I spent $10 on food.
Like roughly under 400.
Yeah, 500. But if I'm on shopping, probably closer to like 30, $50.
Food, shop, or just like hang out with friends?
All three.
Shop.
Food and stuff.
Shop. Usually get like a coffee.
Mostly shop.
Food and hang out. Yeah.
Alone.
I come like alone.
Come to meet somebody or in a group?
Usually some friends.
Yeah, some friends.
I was gonna say I love it. It's like very relaxing. Everyone's nice to you.
Usually, like, with people, so I'm kind of like having a good time. I'm happy, but I hate spending money. Like,
Good generally, I guess.
Pleasant. It's pleasant.
It depends on the day.
Tired and tired.
Probably the third.
Second and third.
You second floor? I say first.
They react?
They say like you spent a lot of money. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Like how does it make you feel when they like comment on your gut?
It's nice. It's nice, you know, just like any other person would feel good, right?
see, I work for my money, so I buy things that I want.
Both. More want. Oh, I was gonna say usually need.
Usually what I want. Yeah.
So I was just saying to How and Ben how we've noticed that a lot of people coming to the mall, it's almost like going to church or going to the temple. You know, people come together to be part of a community, they try to conform with one another, and they really enjoy the worship that they get out of it. But at the mall, they're not worshiping God. Instead, we're worshiping consumption. The focus is on, you know, getting things for yourself, things that you want, things that satisfy you, and make you feel good about yourself. Don't you think?
I would say that too. And they would practice this by shopping. By shopping at the stores, they get to conform with everyone in the store. It's almost like having mini temples within the larger temple, where you can practice the conformities of that store.
What do you think?
in the food corner, we have a lot of dishes from other countries, not only Western food but also Asian and European food. It's also related to religions because everyone has different religions and they have different habitat and desire to food. So that's how I think a mall can construct a temple feeling wise.
Yeah, there's totally a ton of diversity here. I mean, you never see just one ethnic group. I mean, look at us.
Now, we will hear from our reporters on 5 ways that the mall manifests itself as a temple.
Each floor in the Eaton Center plays a different role, just like churches have various divisions. Many of my friends choose to socialize in the food court, as it's the place they can have food while chatting with each other. When people come to the mall for shopping, first floor is boys' primary choice, as Nike and Foot Lockers locates here. Second and third floor contains a lot of women clothing and beauty stores, such as Sephora and Victoria's Secrets. And that attracts girls to come upstairs.
So here I stand with my family. My family, they really like Old Navy. So this is the culture we were raised with. But as you walk around the mall, you'll find other families. You'll find an H&M family, a Zara family, and even behind us there's a Hot Topics family. That's really how cultures begin. Everyone is raised with different brands. And as we grow up, we stick with those brands. Like, for example, my family, we always wear Old Navy. See, my family, we grew up with Old Navy. Like that, a lot of families grow up with their religions. They're raised Catholics or they're raised Hindus. Well, you see Josh over there? Behind him used to stand Steven. Well, Steven is at Zara now. See, what happens when people get older, they sometimes change religions. And that way, he now changed to Zara. It's just Steven, I came saying goodbye to him. He left our family for Old Navy and came to this one called Zara. So these Christmas presents? Well, when me and my family came into Old Navy, it reminded us, we need to get stuff for Christmas. Like my little brother, he loves the reindeer hats. And my dog Russell loves them too. Similar to how a church would use symbols to remind its devotees of their belief, keeping them devoted, a mall will use ads to remind and encourage shoppers to stay devoted and consume.
The mall is also a place where people come to conform to traditional beauty standards. Just like the mannequins here in the back, you can see that they're dressed in sparkly clothing and in the latest styles. So women like us are encouraged to dress just like them, spending thousands of dollars so that we can fit in. Just like in church, people here gather together to worship at the altar. But in the mall, the altar is where we offer our money in exchange for goods or for the communion. At church, people offer up their time and their love and their devotion to God and to what they believe in. Here, they offer up their time and their money and their devotion to stuff and waste of time. I don't know. So, as much as the mall is about conformity and being part of this group that all believes and professes the same thing, we just witnessed a man bump into Sam, and physically, body check her, and then he started swearing at her as though it was her fault. People are so obsessed with themselves and all this individualism, and it's just promoted by the environment in the mall. People come to the mall alone, they're focused on where they need to go, what they need to do, pushing past each other, and it's just this, blah.
Okay, so I'm going to start with you. Why did you choose Beyonce? I've personally grown up with Beyonce since I was a kid. I mean, my first album was Dangerously in Love, so, I've grown up with her. She's still relevant. She's fashion forward. She's socially aware. She's very, very talented. She works really, 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 really hard. People don't really realize, but really hard worker, and I just admire her a lot.
So are you a part of any fan groups, or do you get along with people who are also fans of Beyonce?
Yeah, I definitely get along. I don't have friends that don't like Beyonce, so I don't know if that's on purpose or.
So you guys basically develop your own little culture.
Yeah, around Beyonce, yeah.
The holy people serve as models of behavior that is to be
in the place of worship. In a church, the worshiper looks up to the holy people of prophets, saints, and popes. These holy people encourage the worshipers to practice in the rituals of prayer, reading of scriptures, and confession, to suggest a few. In a mall, the shopper looks up to the holy people of celebrities, models, athletes, and musicians. These holy people encourage the worshiper to participate in the rituals of consumption of food, consumption of goods and services, and consumption of time. This Instagram feed serves as an example of how worshipers in the mall highly rely on the holy people. 8 of the options a worshiper could have selected were comprised of celebrities, musicians, and athletes. And the 9th option read, "My inspiration comes from within myself, not others." None of the worshipers I interviewed chose the 9th option. This goes to show how dependent worshipers are on the holy people.
So upon interviewing other people at the mall, we've noticed some similar correlations. So we noticed that a lot of the old people tend to come to the mall during less higher traffic times. They come here weekday mornings, weekday nights, weekday afternoons, when the mall's really not that busy. When asked why they come at these certain times, they tell us that they have a lot of time on their hands, and since they're not working and there's no one living with them, it's a good way of socializing and having a safe environment in the harsh winters of Canada. Similarly, we noticed that they go to church at these odd times as well. Usually, you go to a daily mass or a time where there's not that many people at church. You'll notice that most of the people that are at church are actually older people. What's also funny about that is that the reason that they're going there is not because they have so much time on their hands, but because they have such little time left on earth, or what they think of. Now, talking with kids is a completely different thing. We talk to a lot of young people about why they come to the mall and when they come to the mall, and they come to the mall for reasons of socializing and being in a community with people of their own age. Now, when they go to church, it's different than going to older people. When they go to church, it's usually because of youth groups or other things where they have a similar community that they can be a part of.
Through our interviews with the consumers, we learned a lot about the ritual consumption of food, goods, and services, and time.
When Howe discussed the most remarkable grouping of stores, we learned that the mall, like a church, has divisions based on gender and class, though everyone is welcome. Ben taught us about the way that both churches and the mall rely on images and symbols to encourage devotion and consumption.
Emma reported on the ways the mall promotes the values of consumerism, individualism, and conformity, in the same way a church espouses her values and ideologies.
George discussed how the diverse demographics within the mall reflect the diverse demographics within a church.
Finally, Samantha compared the way that religious people derive their inspiration from saints and holy people to the way consumers garner inspiration from celebrities and different outlets.
In conclusion, we believe that through our observations, the relationship between church and mall is far greater than initially perceived.